Hello friends, my name is Dheeraj, and in this video we will see about printing worksheets and workbook using Microsoft Excel. Printing is one of the most important functions for any office document. Let us explore printing capabilities using some sample data which I have. Now in this sample data which I have 4 columns. One is the name of the company, second is the name, third is the job title, and fourth is the department. This data is just a junk data. Now let us see how we can print this list using Microsoft Excel. Printing can be done using various options of Excel. First we'll explore the option through File button. We'll click on File button and go to this printing, or simply press Ctrl+P to open this particular window. Now this window has some important section. These are the buttons. This is the print preview. Now there are various options over here. The first button is the print button. Excel stores print setting for your workbook so that every time you go to print you do not need to adjust print setting. So the first button provided by Excel is print. By clicking it, your worksheet will get printed to the default printer of your machine. Here we can specify the number of copies which we want to print. I can increase the number of copies, or I can decrease the number of copies, or simply type the number of copies which I want to print by inputting the value over here. This is where you select your printer. I don't use print functionality normally unless it is absolutely needed. So I generally mail my documents in PDF format. So my default printer is Qt PDF Writer. I can click over here to see the list of all the printers available on my machine, and I can select the one where I want to send this print command. Now this option lets you control some properties of your printer. We'll skip this for now. Now this is main settings area where you can specify important settings for some advanced printing. The first one is about printing the content. So whether you want to print the entire worksheet or an entire workbook or a specific selection. Now by default it's active sheet. So active sheet is the sheet from where we have come to this particular print option, and we can see in the preview pane the data which is going to be printed, and it's running into number of pages, that is 1 to 4. So currently it is 1 of 4, and I can click on next to preview the next page, and I can click back button to go to the back page. Now for example, let me press this file button. Let me click this file button or press escape key to go back to a worksheet, and I will go and simply select the 10 rows which I want to print. So I've selected this 10 rows and I'm pressing Ctrl+P to come back over here. The default option over here is print active sheet. Let me change it to print selection. So as you can see in the preview, it is just showing the 10 rows because we have just selected 10 rows on our active sheet. Now next option is about controlling the number of pages. Now for example, if this was active sheet, the output was running into 4 pages. Now if I want to print only first 2 pages, I will enter 1 to 2. This is how I can print the selected pages, or I can enter from 2 to 3. So I want to skip the first page and I want to just print second and third page. The next option is about collated. Now in case if we have more than 1 copies, if it is 1 copy, this collated option is ignored by Excel. But if it is more than 1 copy, then this option is used to determine the sequence of printing. The default is 1 to 3. That is, if there are 2 copies, it will print first copy, that is first page, second page, third page, the first copy, and the second copy also again the first page, second page, third page. But if you have some different requirement where you want to print the first page, all the copies of first page first, and then all the copies of second page, and then third. So this is an uncollated option to decide the sequence of pages when you're printing. Now this is orientation. By default it's a portrait orientation. I can change the orientation of my page to landscape. As you can see, the moment I changed it to landscape, all my 4 columns are visible in this preview. Let me change back to portrait. This option is about page size. There are multiple page size available. By default it's A4, we'll leave it to A4. This option is about margins. Now as we know, margins are the free area or the white spaces in our printout. So this is the left margin, this is the top margin, this is right margin, and this is bottom margins. And we also have a header margin and a footer margin. So same are some predefined settings are available with some specific measurements, and you can also use this custom margin option to set your specific margins. The next option is about scaling. Now in less formatted worksheets, when you want to have a quick printout and fit entire sheet in one page, for example, by default it's no scaling, but if I select this fit sheet on one page, Excel will reduce the font size of entire content and it will try to print everything on one sheet. So you can see the number of pages shown over here, 1 of 1. But make sure that when you print this kind of option, the readability is there so that we don't waste on printouts. Next option is fit all columns on one page. So it will ensure that all the columns which I've selected or which are available on the active sheet are printed on one sheet, so it will adjust scaling according to that. Now one important setting available over here is called page setup, which is again some of the properties are repeated which we have already seen over here. The orientation, the scaling, the paper, etc. The margins also we have seen. The one which is not available over here is header and footer. Now header and footer are basically the text which you want to have on the top of your printout is header. The text which you want to have on bottom of your printout is footer. So there are some predefined options available here. If you want to print a page number, or if you want to print a page number of total number of pages, if you want to print a sheet name, you want to print the machine name, you want to print the file name, or you want to specify your own custom headers, you can decide what you want on the left section, the center section, and the right section. Same way custom headers are also available, where you can decide what you want in 3 sections of the footer. Alternatively, Excel also provides you option to have a different header for odd pages and even pages. Now moment you select this particular option, you cannot select available headers of Excel, but you have to forcefully specify custom headers. Now moment you have selected this option, as we can see, the custom odd page header and even page headers are available. So what you want to have it on odd pages, what you want to have it on even pages can be defined. You can have a different header for the first page. Generally on the documents you might need this option. Now headers are one thing and titles are separate thing, so we should not get confused between titles and headers. Headers are repeated on top of your printout, that is on the first page of your printout, and titles are basically data title. So headers are something like as a report name or data name, but the titles are such as column name. In our case it is name of the company, name, job title, department. These are titles. Now as you can see in the preview, I can see header on the first page, but when I go to next page the headers are missing. Now this kind of printout is obviously not productive and not readable when you share this kind of data with your potential readers. So there is an option available over here under page setup in the sheet, where you can specify rows to repeat at the top. Now this option is disabled because we are opening this particular page setup window from the print preview, where selection in the sheet is not allowed. So let me click on file button to close this print preview window and go to page layout and click on print titles. Now moment I click print titles from this particular window, this is now enabled for me. Now I can say rows to be repeated. I can click here and I can select the first row, so it is automatically taking reference of the first row, and I click OK. Okay, let us press Ctrl+P again to go to our print preview, and I can see on the first page the titles were already available. Let me click on next page. As you can see, the titles are shown over here. Now I can open the same setup here, and you can see rows to repeat at the top. That is $1, $1. That is the first row of my data set will be repeated on each page. So this is how you repeat the title on your printouts. Now, as you have seen, let us close the print preview. There are headers, column headers and the row headers available over here, and there's a grid line also. Let us press Ctrl+P, but in the preview I cannot see the headers, I cannot see row headers, I cannot see grid lines. The same settings can be controlled. If you wish to have grid lines in your preview and as well as printout, you can click this. You can click rows and column headings if you wish to have it on your printout. So as you can see in the preview, it is showing the grid line, the headers for the column, the headers for the rows also. So the same will be printed in your printout. So this was for the learning about print settings in Excel. Once your settings have been done and you are satisfied with your settings, you can click on the print to print your worksheet. Thank you for watching this video.